Recent studies have shown that a man's adolescence is now extended from age 19 to 24. In other terms, many men today are not acting their age and act like old infants, still functioning like children. Why? Boys today have never been given the initiation to manhood they need, like the generations before. And an uninitiated young man is a man that's lost and longing for direction and purpose. An initiation into manhood, or if you would like to call it, a rite of passage, takes a boy and transitions him to a man. This transition is missing for most men today, yet due to its importance, it shouldn't be missed and should be implemented in your life. But before we look at how we can introduce a rite of passage in modern day, let's go back to the people before us and take a look at how ancient Sparta did their rite of passage and why it worked so well. It began from the early ages of 5 and 7. Young Spartan boys were taken from their family to live in an agel, which is Greek for pack, of other boys to train with. It was here they learned to compete with other packs, instilling an appreciation for the tribal mentality at an early age, something very important in human evolution. I'll talk about tribalism in another video. Just know that it is vital for humans to belong to a group and feel identified with those in that group. At the same age, while Sparta boys train and hunt in their packs, boys today are cuddled in modern Western civilization, especially those who are spoiled with wealth. But realistically, even an average income can facilitate an easy, soft life. How many of your friends or even friends of friends have to wake up and hunt for their food in the morning? It doesn't happen. It is the first time where mankind doesn't have to work for his food and can just survive without ever lifting a finger. Never before has the average man lived such an easy life. By the age of 10, Spartan boys would have learned how to read and write, while also mastering their movement and footwork, which is vital for a Spartan warrior. As a part of their rite of passage into manhood, their hair would be shaved off, their garments would be replaced with cloaks, ready to be thrown into the wild as a test, to see whether they can fend for themselves, to see whether they are worthy enough. But today, instead of testing the resilience and strength of young boys, they are raised by feminized schools, where there are very few males that act as good role models. They are told toxic masculinity this and toxic masculinity that. They're told it's okay for men to show emotion, slowly stripping away the natural hunger and aggression every boy has inside of him, gradually becoming more and more like girls. In old Sparta, they encouraged the natural behavior in boys, so the aggressiveness and assertiveness remained flowing. They were never overfed, to ensure that they keep them always hungry for more. They were made to walk barefoot, so they become pain tolerant. Training was rough, but this is how they wanted it. They wanted them to experience hardship. They knew that with hardship comes strong men. And the Spartan boys who do not follow along and deal with that hardship will never get the privilege and respect like the others. All while young boys today have a constant supply of high sugar and highly processed junk food, unending entertainment, and little to no struggle. Then, as they wait for that 18th birthday, their parents are all of a sudden surprised to why their boys don't have any desire to work hard and improve themselves, as if their boys have had any form of discipline in their adolescence. By the age of 20, a Spartan boy's training would finish, making him a Spartan warrior, a Spartan man. This whole process is called the Spartan Agoge, the Spartan rite of passage, what turned boys into men. And modern life today needs a modern version of this Agoge. And the truth of the matter is, most men today, especially in the Western civilization, are no longer equipped to handle hardship. How many boys and men today do you think would survive all those trials and tribulations that a Sparta boy would have had to do? Not many. This is why more countries in the world should add a mandatory military service for young men, not to fight their wars, but to train the male mind. And trained male minds means healthier men, healthier society, and happier women. And if a boy doesn't train his mind, he'll end up following the modern cultural way, where he becomes a man by passively waiting, rather than being forced to demonstrate exemplary strength, honor, and resilience through a rite of passage. Essentially, staying as an old boy rather than a man. Now you know that, in ancient cultures, a boy had to prove his worthiness to become a man, and it wasn't handed to him. And you can see the big difference between boys back then working for their manhood and boys today working for their PlayStation stats. Then without a doubt, you can see why men today need a rite of passage to guide them and give them a sense of direction. And even though life has changed, society as a whole has adapted, and we can't implement a system exactly like ancient Sparta. The lessons and elements learned can still be implemented into your modern life. Maybe not the same way, but in a different way, serving the same purpose. So here are the 3 core elements of a rite of passage you need to know. The first element is leaving the familiar, which is leaving your comfort zone. Taking a step away from everything you are familiar with. Leaving the PlayStation, leaving the easy life. Forcing you to accept hardship, something every male has to experience to become a man. Leaving the familiar and placing yourself outside your comfort zone adds a bit of stress to your life. And when you experience stress, your tolerance of it will increase. When you can handle stress, you will be able to handle problems in your life and any other challenges you might face as a man. You might leave the familiar by moving to a new city or by changing your way of living. As long as it seems dangerous or challenging, it's leaving the familiar. The second element is transitioning, a time of testing, learning, and growth. In other words, improving oneself in all areas. Transitioning from a boy to a man is a matter of time physically, but not just a matter of time mentally, because you manually have to build up your mental through learning, experience, and accumulating a certain amount of wisdom. Before a boy becomes a man, he has to prove that he can be responsible when no one is around. He has to believe in something strongly and not follow the opinions of others for everything. Be able to make decisions in the right direction and have a purpose for his life. And the third and last element is reintegrating, where a boy returns to society, a grown man, a new person. He may also have new friends that align with his purpose and has a completely new mindset. At this stage, not only has he proved to others, but most importantly has also proved to himself that he is worthy, that he has earned his manhood. He now has something to be proud of. These are all stages that a boy must go through to become a man, and the earlier you do, the better. It may not be the Spartan way, but you can do it modernly. Remember, manhood is far more than being physically developed. It is also about being developed mentally. So keep on developing. Brothers, if you found this valuable, be here for the next.